Hello everyone, I'm Mackenzie Mitchell and welcome to Threads.
Today we're in Los Angeles, California, and we're sitting down with a longtime friend of mine. She's a professional wrestler, a model, an influencer, and a new mom. She's a multi-time cover model and a trailblazer in every right, Barbie Blank. Hello.
Hi.
My twin.
Hi, Twinnie.
Oh my gosh, people were wanting you on the show for so long. We're finally making it happen in your beautiful home in LA.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, it's stunning.
Thank you.
I'm so excited because we've known each other for years.
Yeah.
Like we met at a convention years ago.
And like instant connection.
But it was we were friends exactly. And
Yeah.
we were friends from the get and people were like, you guys need to know each other outside of wrestling. Like we had mutual connections from friends in Nashville, I think, to begin with.
Yeah.
But now you're a new mom.
I am.
Congrats. They are
Thank you.
beautiful, Jackson
Thank you.
and Brooklyn.
Yes.
How was motherhood?
It's just been a dream. They're honestly, and you're going to hear them in the background.
That's okay.
But they are a dream. They are just such great babies. Jackson is so chill. Brooklyn is
They're like dying to get in here.
I know, we have to bring them in.
Should we bring them in for a second?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Let's bring them in.
Hi. Oh my goodness. Is this you guys' first time on camera?
Yes.
Okay, so Brooklyn and Jackson.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
See, they knew they were going to be on Threads, so they are in their nicest threads, their little Louis.
I was gonna say, how did you pick the baby clothes for today? Oh no, Brooklyn. This is motherhood, guys. By the way. Let's see. She's like, I'm the star of the show. What do you guys mean?
Yeah.
Okay, so Brooklyn and Jackson. And how is it just a learning experience the whole time? Like, are you just kind of like figuring it out as you go along?
Yeah.
Or is this something where you're like, okay, this is my maternal kicks in and I know what this is like?
I mean, I feel like it's the mixture of both. Especially having twins.
Okay.
It's definitely, it's not, but I wouldn't have it any other, like, I can't imagine just having one. Like,
yes.
Yeah.
Right. You're the perfect twin mom, truly.
Thank you.
How do you decide, like, where do you get your baby clothes? To spill the tea, fill us in.
They are so blessed. We have a lot of brands, love sending them stuff. And so it's just so fun dressing them up. We try to dress them up in different clothes every day so they get their wear out of it, you know?
Sure. And finding the perfect mix of, like, a boy and a girl.
Exactly.
Like you're able to kind of coordinate them. Are they always matching or do you have them kind of in their own vibe?
I love to have them matching.
Yeah.
They're twins. It's like, hi, Papa, I know you so much. Tell them. So it's really fun to dress them alike and.
Totally. Well, you guys are the most, like, you're
thank
the
you,
cutest, you're precious. I'm so glad. This is my first time meeting the baby.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, well, that was amazing.
Thank
I'm so
you.
glad to meet them. They're precious.
I just love them so. Oh my gosh. It's the motherhood is literally the best. Like, I couldn't have ever dreamed of it being. I just feel like I was made to be a mom.
Yeah.
I just, you know.
And are you loving this era of Barbie?
I am. I feel like this is my best era, my mom era.
That's amazing. Yeah. Okay, so we've got so much to talk about.
I know.
We have so many looks to get into. I know people are so excited about this episode.
So
like I've
excited.
said, people were like mentioning, even some friends were mentioning that are in the industry. Did you ever think when you were back in early days of Kelly Kelly that you would be essentially paving the way for women today with an iconic look? Like, did you know back then that your look was going to then inspire so many females today?
No, and I get goosebumps talking about it. It's so cool because, like, honestly, I got in at such a young age. Never expected to do the things that I did while I was there, accomplish the things that I did, be there as long as I was, be the youngest ever, retire at 25, like, I don't know, I just never, and then like, it is so, like you say, there's so many women that have, said that their gear is after mine, and it's just such a huge compliment, and it's just like such an amazing feeling to know that you've inspired younger women.
And when you were putting these looks together, when you were, 19, 20, 21 years old, like, how were you finding this look, essentially, that became, like, the Kelly Kelly look?
There were so many looks that happened. There was such an evolution too. And I feel like probably a lot of women have said that. Yeah. That it was like, you start out and you just like you have no idea. And so it takes like years, I feel like, till you finally figure out, okay, this is my look, you know?
And you had several versions of Kelly Kelly.
I did.
Like you eventually found your little shorts and the little like bra top and the like jacket that went over. Mm-hmm. But you were wearing garters for
I was wearing chaps.
Chaps.
Yeah. I don't know. And no one had worn chaps before. And I don't know where. I think I was working with Julie, who is the backstage seamstress, and I love Julie. And I think she may have had the idea of the chaps.
Okay.
And because she was making my gear at the time.
Gotcha.
And so it was always above and beyond chaps. Like she just killed it every time.
And now, you've obviously been in the locker rooms, like later on with 2022 and Never Say Never, there might be an opportunity for you to come back one day. But like, what's it like in the locker room today versus where it was back in the day?
You know, when I was there, we were very close. Like everybody was close. We were traveling together. Nobody had buses or anything. Like we were just renting minivans and just like, packing up and
like taking the roads.
Exactly.
Like you were going on the road together.
Exactly. And we didn't have like our phone. We didn't have Waze. We like literally had one of those stick on the thing on the car. And sometimes we had MapQuest. We had to print directions out. Like this is wild. Like I'm like, it was crazy to think about that. That's where we were back then to now.
The process today, creating gear, the women creating these like looks.
Yeah.
Versus
it was
where
definitely
you guys were then.
Right.
Like, how have you seen from your perspective that changes? Like that's changed,
right? 1,000,000%. Yeah. I mean, obviously we didn't have social media really how it was now. And like, it wasn't a thing. Like I feel like I really loved like the gear thing. Like that was like my opportunity to show my personality to like, but now I feel like these women it's like gone above and beyond. Like they definitely like have their signature and like they just put so much effort into it now. And it's just so cool to see how it's evolved over all these years and how it's taken, how now it's a thing. Mm-hmm. You have to have like these cool outfits or you're just gonna like, you're not gonna get far. Yeah, you're not gonna get far if you don't have your own style, that's for sure.
So for today, when you look at like the scope of wrestling, AEW, WWE, TNA, is there someone that you feel like is like cutting edge and you love their style and you feel like they're kind of creating this new norm?
Yeah, so I have just started watching Jade and I didn't really in AEW, but now that she's in WWE, I'm like, now looking at her looks, I'm like, that is, if I was still wrestling, that's what I would be doing. Like, I just feel like her gear is just like very reminiscent of like the sparkles and like the glass and like, it's just like cool. Like she's just killing
bad bitch energy. She is like the it girl.
Yeah.
Hey, can you imagine like if you and Jade ever had a feud? Like I'm trying to get Barbie back to WWE secretly in this whole episode. Like but that would be amazing.
That would be really cool.
A face-off between you two would be amazing.
That would be really cool.
Of all of your sets of gear that you've had throughout the years, is there one that's your just absolute favorite?
It has to be the Royal Rumble gear that I just did 2 years ago.
The pink one.
That one. Okay. That was like, I knew when I came back, I was like, this is me. Like, this is the epitome. And I just had to like,
So you turned it up a notch?
I 1,000,000% did.
What was your process like for these sets of gears? The ones that are more like 2021, 2022, like the later days as compared to the beginning days.
Right.
Like, how did that process work?
I've always loved bedazzled. Like I always loved sparkle. Like that was always my thing. Like sparkle, bedazzle, crystals, like, so that's never changed. From starting with Extreme Expose, starting with the bedazzled bras.
Okay.
Like that, that was kind of how it started. I worked with this designer here in LA and I was like, Brian, who was one of my really great guy friends, he like has been doing my makeup, my hair, shoots all my content. Like we've worked together for years and he was like, if you come back, you gotta like bring it. And I was like,
gotta go big.
So I found this guy and he was great, Yusuma. And we just sketched. I kind of told him what I was looking at and kind of what I wanted. And if you see the gear too, there is kind of the chap aspect on the side.
Right. A little homage.
Yeah, so we did, and obviously bedazzled. I was like, I wanted that. I just feel like he killed it in every single way.
It's iconic, truly iconic.
Thank you. Well, it's funny because now so many women use him.
Really?
Yes.
So did you start that trend?
1,000,000% I did.
You've been a part of so many of these big history-making events, from Royal Rumbles to Evolution. Do you always feel like you kind of need to turn up the heat a little bit in your looks when you come back to WWE today?
I do. And my Evolution look freaking sucked. I was so pissed.
What?
It was gold. It wasn't like how...
You didn't like it?
No, because it was so last minute. I got the call literally within 2 weeks. My girl couldn't, so I had another lady do it. And it was just plain. Like, it had a little crystal, but it was just not, I was so mad. That if I take one, that was one look I would take back.
You won the Divas Championship. You're wearing this like beautiful gold metallic like outfit.
Yeah.
Tell me why you selected gold for that moment.
So of course, like winning the Divas Championship, like gold, like you think of like gold, right? So there's a store in LA on Hollywood Boulevard. There was a few that made these sparkly tops with these shorts, and like they had these like arm things, and I'm like, this is great. I can get like 10 outfits and have outfits for every week, and then so that's how that was the look that I wore. It was just like one of those outfits that I had bought from Hollywood Boulevard. And then after that, I had found a seamstress on Hollywood, and her store was called Busy Bee, and she actually started designing my outfits from there, because I was just going in there and I was buying the stuff, and she's like, hey, I can make these. And I'm like, amazing.
Perfect. It's customized.
Yeah, it was like perfect timing, right place, right time for her to be like, hey, let's do these. And so that's kind of how I got inspired with the shorts and the top, was from Hollywood Boulevard in the stores, seeing those outfits.
Wow. And does that also include the little jacket?
Yes,
like
because I saw the jacket. They were doing the little jacket, and they had the arm things. And I was like, this is great. I loved it. Yeah, so I just kind of took that from there.
Do you have a favorite jacket from years past?
There's a one from Mania that my girlfriend Jeebin designed, actually. It had Kelly on the back, and we were lumberjills. She started designing outfits, and she's like, oh my God, I'd love to design your outfit for a Mania. And I was like, so cool. Especially because she's my good girlfriend, and so yeah, that was
how it all worked together.
Yeah. So this was my first ever debut in WWE, ECW. This is it.
That was it.
This was
okay,
it.
and how did you plan this outfit? Was it
I found out, and I don't even think I came prepared that day. I feel like maybe I had to go out and get this that day that I showed up, because I don't even know I didn't know what I knew I was doing expose, and I knew I was gonna have to get down to bra and underwear, and so I feel like I had to run to the mall, and like I said, this is Forever 21, pretty sure. And this, probably I went to a stripper store. I mean, yeah.
Wow. So you just went to the mall day of.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that today, going to television?
No.
And running
and
to
like
the mall in the morning
figuring
to
this
grab
out.
Some pieces.
But that is not, we did that a lot. There was a lot. There was a mini Monday Night Raws where we were at the mall that day, because
gathering the
you
look.
didn't have, because they would change. They'd be like, oh, you need a prom gown you need like a big, like, because they had like those prom dress matches, or like, so you have to go and to get a dress. It was just so funny.
Is there a specific time that you remember that you were wearing someone else's something that was very unexpected?
Well, what's so crazy, and I think about it now, and I know I talk about Ashley a lot, and I love her and I miss her. I had a match, and I didn't have wrestling boots. And she gave me her black Puma wrestling boots, and she let me keep them, and I wrestled in those every week forever. Like, I still have those to this day. But it was just so cool, because she was like, hey, yeah, girl, here, girl, I got these. And I'm like, and they weren't like regular wrestling boots. Like, I love that, because they were like, they're just lace up boots, but like so great to wrestle in, because I didn't want like those big chunky wrestling boots. Like I never thought they were cute. Like I needed to be able to like move, you know?
Yeah.
So those boots, and I still have them to this day. They're like, you know, but yeah. Well, what I think is really cool too, like I was one of the first ones to really be doing a lot of like gymnasty stuff. Like, you know, Lita did her backflips, and Molly Holly did her Molly go round, and Jillian did the handspring elbow, and but there wasn't somebody who was like, that was like there for like a gymnast. Like I was a gymnast, so I was like, let me incorporate all these moves into my arsenal, you know, let me take all this stuff. So that was really cool to be able to like, I really put a lot of effort into those moves, because I was like, I want to be doing stuff that women aren't really doing right now, you know, and now everybody does them. So it's so fun. I'm like,
So we kind of went down memory lane a little bit, but did you have inspiration, or was there someone that you were looking to for inspiration, whether that be in the wrestling industry, pop culture, entertainment in general, early 2000s when you were creating your original look?
It's funny because I feel like it was a combination of girls that I was like, Ashley Massaro, when she was there. I feel like when I started, I kind of like admired her like punk rock. So I kind of took from that. That's kind of where that came from her. And then like I love Tories, and like I feel like I kind of mimic Tories. And then like I love like Britney Spears. I feel like I brought her the nude outfit that I wore at Mania, when it was me, Maria Menounos against Eve and Beth. That nude gear I kind of emulated from Britney Spears, wore a nude kind of look from that. And
so very Pop 2K a little bit.
Yeah. I think actually the Chaps, I think I might have gotten from Christina Aguilera when she did the Dirty video. And I was like, oh.
Knowing you and who you are as a person,
yeah.
I would never put Barbie Blank and punk rock in the same sentence.
No.
So tell me about, that was like beginning of Extreme Expose.
It was.
Tell me about that, and when they were like, hey, this is kind of how we're gonna go into this. This is what your look is gonna be.
I loved Ashley Mazzaro's like character, and I loved, because she was herself, and I was like, that was cool. Like I feel like, because I was so young, like that was kind of what I gravitated to at that time, was like that look. And she was super chill about me kind of doing it too. Like there was no competition in a way.
Did that look feel natural to you at the time?
I look back and no, probably not.
Okay.
But I just needed time. I needed time to evolve and figure out who I was.
Right.
Because I wasn't given any direction. I was just given like, hey, just
figure it out on the fly. Figure it out on the fly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when you look back at Extreme Expose and some of like, you were basically going on television and doing a little bit of a striptease every week. You were then having to wear basically nothing on national television. Like, what did that feel like?
I mean, well, just getting the outfits together every week, literally, I would just go to stripper stores.
Can you imagine yourself doing that today?
No.
In the way, in your era that you are and how
it's so funny, because I look back and then like, there's no way we could be doing this right now with how I started. Like, you're not gonna have a girl on national television going down and like strip teasing. Like,
absolutely.
What?
Well, how did you find your confidence, your inner confidence to get out there and basically like a bikini?
Bikini contests were the jam 18 years ago, okay? You could make such good money just going to bikini contests. So me and a girlfriend, we would travel throughout Florida, go to bikini contests every weekend. My mom would come out, my dad would be there, like support. They'd be like, that's my daughter, yeah! You know, which is wild. Because I don't know, now that I'm a mom with a daughter, if I would be supporting her in a bikini, I'm probably
right.
But my parents knew I was gonna do it anyway, so they were like, we better support her. So I feel like getting confidence from that, I mean, I'm going out every weekend in front of hundreds of people doing bikini contests, so that kind of like built the confidence up for sure.
So and that went hand in hand, essentially.
1,000,000%.
You were already kind of
well, that's how I got found too. Like I was doing Venus swimwear, I was doing the catalogs and stuff, and they had seen my picture, and they were like, we love her look. And, you know, called me and they were like, does she have any interest in becoming a wrestler? And
what did you think whenever they said WWE? Were you like, I'm on board with this? Or were you like, this is going to take some getting used to?
No, I mean, I used to watch it when I was young. Like that was me and my dad's thing together. We watched it. Obviously never thought I would be getting into it. So when I got the call, I was like, oh my gosh, this could be so cool. And my dad was like, that's amazing. Like, what? So.
And who was some of your favorites when you were growing up?
Definitely, like, I loved Sable. Like, I thought she was so cool. Like, Trish, Stacy Keibler, Tori.
And then fast forward, you guys were working together in the same ring. Like you and Tori, we talked about this.
Yeah.
Did a bikini contest.
Yeah.
This is a bikini? What do you mean? This is dental floss.
This is hilarious. Okay, so this is what I used to wear in my bikini Hawaiian Tropic competitions, okay? Because this is probably where it all started with the bedazzles, because you had to, like, to get the judges to notice you, you had to have, like, sparkly bikinis and, like, over the top, you know.
You had to show out.
Yeah. So I started designing bikinis when I started in Hawaiian Tropics. So this girl, I remember she designed for a lot of the women, and you would just tell her what you wanted. And this was one of them. And then I ended up wearing this on TV.
In a bikini contest.
Yeah.
Is this a bombshell bra?
Yes.
Okay, Mandy said this, that Mandy would, underneath her gear, always put the bombshell bra. So
I would wear 2 bombshell bras, and it would.
So I only wish that Victoria's Secret would know how much they've inspired the wrestling industry.
Oh my gosh, I know.
Because the bombshell bra has been a staple throughout the years, and still today.
Yeah, that's what I would bedazzle.
It's in a lot of women's gear underneath the fabric. Like if it's not just the bra, it's under the fabric.
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
What was the Extreme Expose days like for you guys? Was it instant chemistry? Were you guys like immediately finding things to coordinate, or was that a process?
We did. So like every week we were having to find the music. Layla was choreographing the routines. We would learn them that day. We would go into like a room. And I was a cheerleader, so I get the beats, like I got that one too. But like the moves, I mean, these two, I'm like, I'll do a backflip, all right? Like, it was just wild. Like, it was fine when I did Kelly's expose and I was by myself, but now I'm having to compete with these two, and I'm like, girl, you guys are like, it's so bad. I tried so hard, bless, but it was funny, and I look back, and we had the best time, though. We did. We traveled together, and then, yeah, with the outfits, too, like, we would have to, like, we'd be like, okay, what's the I think we would go the day before, and then we'd go, I don't even know.
In whatever town,
whatever mall, and we would just like find things that were not exactly the same, but like our own little spin on it, because we all had our own distinct style, right? And yeah, we would just kind of throw things together and hope it worked.
Well, it's interesting with a tag team. You guys were you were a faction essentially.
Right.
But you want to show your individual style.
Exactly.
You want to show your personality.
Exactly.
Was there something that you always had as a staple and the other girls had as a staple when you were in that faction of Extreme Expose?
I feel like I always wanted something with sparkle. Like I always made sure like something was sparkly. I feel like Layla liked more like cutout-y stuff. And then Brooke liked more kind of like a punk-ish kind of. So yeah.
Well, now today you're an influencer. You are a model. You've always been a model, but you have some brands that you're working with for different influencer deals and stuff. What do you feel like is your ideal style?
I feel like it's changed a lot too over the years. You know, as I've gotten older, I definitely cannot wear what I was wearing in my 20s. Now that I'm a mom, I feel like it's evolving. But yeah, I mean, I feel like I like to be sexy, obviously. Like that's always been, I'm not always covered up, and I like to have something showing, whether it be like stomach or like a boob or like a leg, you know. I always like to show like one part of that.
Totally.
You know, keep that. So there's some sexiness to it. But yeah, I love denim. I've always been a denim girl. I love good denim shorts. That's always, you know.
You do love a denim short.
I do.
In I think one of the episodes.
Yes.
For
when I won the 24/7 title, I had, which is so funny because I wish I would have been prepared for that, but it's fine. I don't even know. Like I was like, let me just throw this together. It was like a bra, but it was signature, so I was like, okay, signature bra top, sparkles, and then like denim shorts, like.
It was
still kind of like a good combo.
Yeah,
you know?
I feel like it was the perfect mix of who Barbie, who Kelly Kelly was.
Yeah.
And then where you are now with the denim shorts and kind of like the iconic bra top that you were creating essentially back in the day.
Exactly.
Okay, we also touched a little bit on the bikinis and that you were doing like bikini competitions or bikini contests.
Right.
You've been on the cover of Maxim 3 times. right? Or
I was
maybe cover once.
a cover once, and then the Maxim Hot 100 a handful of times.
I mean, how freaking cool in itself.
That was amazing.
How did you select the bikinis for that, or was that part of them?
That was Maxim. Yeah, Maxim brought the bikinis to the shoot. I didn't get to keep them. That would have been cool. But yeah, so they brought all the looks.
So you were the first in WWE to
be on the cover of Maxim, for sure. At Maxim in US. For sure.
Like, were people excited?
Oh my God. Yeah, we did a whole segment on Raw where we unveiled the cover. And that was really cool. That was,
amazing.
Yeah.
Like, it's bizarre to me, to be honest, and I don't know if people have told you this, that like, you absolutely have a Hall of Fame career.
Thanks.
And I just can't imagine you one day not be inducted into the Hall of Fame, because you have trailblazed and you've done so much, and you're one of the most recognized women in the industry, honestly. Well, Barbie, it has been so fun to just chat and like go through your closet and like look back on some looks and like iconic pieces that really have just like paved the way for today and where women are like 15 years later, 20 years later. Like, it's so cool to see.
Thanks, babe. I know it's wild to think like that was almost 20 years ago.
Well, Barbs, it's been so awesome.
Thanks,
Thank you again.
Kenzie. Thank you. This is amazing. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.